I'm drinking my Mountain Dew.
Welcome to our much anticipated Moon Knight full series review.
To all those people that said Moon Knight, did some people say Moon Knight's good? I know some people out there think it's good because it's probably been renewed for a second season. I don't know. I don't care.
Hopefully not.
Dude, this show went out like a wet fart. It's just I couldn't believe how lazy it got. I knew it's a lazy show, but I actually recorded notes on it. It really surprised me with how lazy Disney was with not Disney, sorry, Marvel was with this.
I did like the hippo though.
See, I saw the hippo as an AI going, we need something to off balance the Egypt thing, make funny hippo in a hospital. Like, it just feels like an absolute AI thing.
It does feel like that whole part is filler to something that needed more filler. Or
the only part I will admit, and I recorded it in my notes, there was one part, it was about 2 minutes long, that I was like, oh, I'm legit interested. I've already seen this in Pirates of the Caribbean and The Mummy, but it was at least fun to see, and that was the sand zombies. That was kind of neat.
Yeah, I think thinking about it, this show is just completely filler and nothing substantial.
Also, I don't know about anybody else out there, but I don't care about anyone in this series. And it makes you think back, and this is something I'll discuss when we're talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once, but think back to the Avengers movies, think back to even WandaVision, think back to any show you watch where you think of when Game of Thrones started. Like, you genuinely care. You genuinely care about the characters, because they organically grow your care for them, right? Like you meet Jon in Game of Thrones. You meet Jon, you meet all the Starks, and you grow to love the Starks. That's why you're sad when you see Robb get killed. That's why you're sad when you see Bran.
I would love Robb to get killed.
But my point is, with Moon Knight, you don't care about anyone. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't give a shit what happens to anybody. And your interest just disappears. When you don't care what happens, you're going to be bored. It was the same fucking problem that those Star Wars prequels had. Like, I love the Star Wars movies, and the prequels, they have a special place in my heart, but they're never going to be the originals, but that's something else. My point is, you're bored all throughout Phantom Menace because you know that Obi-Wan survives. You know that Padme has to survive because she's going to be the mother of Luke and Leia. You know all these people survive. That's why when you saw Qui-Gon die, you're like, oh, wow, somebody died. You know? But you knew all the other people survived, so you're bored. And with Moon Knight, you're just bored, you know? And I'm just going to real quickly go through my notes, and people...
It's got that Eternals vibe where it's like no one cares about any people.
The previously on recap that happened at the start of show number 5 perfectly encapsulates everything up to that point that is important. The fact that it is previously on is roughly 30 seconds long explains how poor the show is. If you can do a plot synopsis of a show that is trying its hardest to be complicated and cover it in 30 seconds, you're not doing very well. Second, oh my goodness, will their souls be unbalanced? This is so exciting. I don't understand if Moon Knight is supposed to be a good guy or a bad guy or a badass who plays by his own rules like Blade, and honestly, I don't really give a shit. Man Alive, this show is about as subtle as an ice pick to the forehead. And if anyone knows what that reference is from, congratulations, you're a Frank Zappa fan.
Jurassic Park.
So Mark, who may or may not be real, had a family and his brother died accidentally. If Mark isn't real, why do I care about his not real family?
Mark's real.
Okay. But why do I care about his family? Just because little kid dies?
Little kid dies.
So that's supposed to make me care.
Mom goes
crazy.
Traumatic and treats him like garbage. He uses, what's the name? Steven as another him for coping with the situation so that he can compartmentalize.
Hey, you know what would have been fun? To see that instead of seeing it in 10 minutes on the show.
Yeah.
I have to admit, and that's where I said, I haven't found a single person in the show that I give a shit about. So when they're trying to show problems that they've had and empathy that you should have, I'm totally empty because you haven't given me a reason to care about anybody. You need to make me care about people. If I don't care about them, then I don't care what happens to them.
It came way too late. Just
wow, Steven is dead. I wonder if he'll ever come back. Oh no, Mark, Steven dead. Much suspense, so crying. When Ethan Hawke is going through the souls of all the soldiers. So this is where I just went into a tirade of questions. And nobody is going to care about these, but whatever. When Ethan Hawke is going through all the souls of the soldiers, why doesn't it do the same thing to his own people? So remember he's saying, oh, you'll be balanced.
Because they've already been balanced.
Okay, sure.
They are on the side of good.
They're really rushing to get to the finish line, so the logic errors are simply fast and furious.
Race wars.
This is so generic and lazy and inspired. Even the CG looks tired and lazy. Layla is pretending to be one of Harrow's men. Does Harrow have any sort of vetting process on the people that he grabs? Wouldn't any of his people recognize that Layla is the person that they're looking for?
I think it just came down to the fact that Mark was dying and he needed a definite yes from someone. And that was his definite yes because Mark didn't want to die.
Okay. Harrow kills all but one of the soldiers and then tells his team to move the bodies so that they can drive forward. Layla talks to ghosts through the dead soldiers and clears none of the bodies. Does this not make anyone suspicious of her? Do they not drive over all those bodies she was supposed to move? Why is there no one asking her why she didn't move any bodies? Amit says that Harrow's scales are unbalanced. But she will still use him and to not let the pain of his past distract him. Doesn't that effectively mean that he's killed a metric shit ton of people for absolutely no reason?
Well, vengeance.
Sure.
Because he's the I've said British. Egyptian god of, like, vengeance.
Now, when this show does it, it's basically set in a sentence, and you're supposed to go, oh, okay, whatever. Next action scene, watch action scene, clap for action scene, prepare for new action scene. And when the Russo brothers did it with Thanos, it makes so much actual sense. Like Thanos wanting to wipe out half the planet, his reasoning makes perfect logical sense.
Mm-hmm.
Amit, why is Amit doing it? Vengeance? Balance? What does that mean?
Well, vengeance in itself is just like someone did something wrong, I'm going to go after them, right?
Right.
Whereas the other one is Minority Report, where should we
do it if we know they're going to commit a crime? Do we get them before they do the crime?
Yeah, and is it fair because they haven't committed the crime yet?
But they haven't.
Could they choose
but they don't do
otherwise?
Any of that in this show.
There was like slight bit of that,
for like 2 fucking seconds,
there
like
wasn't
a single
enough,
sentence,
yeah.
And that's what I mean. None of this fucking matters. Right before Harrow releases Amit, he says this could have all been avoided. Wasn't he the one that was working to do this throughout the entire show?
To what?
He says when someone is about to hand him the staff that turns all green and then all the spirits and Amit's spirit comes out, he goes, this could have all been avoided. What? What could have been avoided?
Yeah, I don't
know. Layla releases Khonshu, and when he says, I need you to be my avatar, she says, no way, that's crazy, but we'll work together. Is not the act of her being his avatar the very definition of them working together?
Yeah, but the difference is she would have to be the avatar and potentially stay that way. And then
Mark never stayed that way.
Well, that was part of the deal.
Why wouldn't she just tell him, I want the same deal?
No, but that was the part of the deal. Mark was supposed to stay that way, but he died.
Oh, okay. Again, I was not paying attention because I'm bored. Probably like you are, watching me read stupid notes off my phone. So tell me that in the comments.
I enjoy it.
Dumbass, stop reading notes off your phone. Go fuck yourself. Why are the Hippo God and Amit both reincarnated as animals that require constant water but are in the deserts of Egypt?
They're magic.
The way to confront
is this magic, or is it witching?
I think
or
it's supposed to be
godly.
I think it's supposed to be the gods. Yeah, so the
Egyptian
gods.
They're kind of like Thor.
I guess effectively, because Thor's a Norse god.
Yeah.
And these guys are Egyptian gods. So yeah.
So does every culture have Marvel gods?
I think so. I don't know. People who know much. I know jack shit about
So
Marvel.
we have mutants. We have magic, which is like
Doctor
sorcery
Strange,
and witches and stuff, which are basically the same thing. And we have gods.
Yep.
And we have normal people.
And superheroes.
And then we have superheroes who don't have powers.
And superheroes who do have powers.
Well,
technically, Iron Man's a superhero without superpowers.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
The way to confront your mental instability is to be friends with your other personalities? Stupid.
It's accepting yourself.
But he's not accepting himself. He's accepting his other personality.
Which might be part of himself. We haven't really we don't know this because, like, it's one of those things where it's like, if you have multiple personality disorder, does this mean that you are broken? Or does it mean that this is the way that you came and you should accept it and work with it?
See, I understand that they're two different mediums.
It's like saying autism.
But think of Split. M. Night Shyamalan's Split. Not a very good movie, but James McAvoy does a spectacular job of playing all these different people. Now, all these different people know about the other one, so they know about Patricia, and they know about the Beast, and they know about, let's talk about Kevin, and they all know all these different people, right? But each one is a self-contained personality. And watching James McAvoy work around that, and even, to a point, you got to give a little bit of credit to Shyamalan with how he weaves a story where all the different characters and all the different personalities know about each other, right? He builds tension up. Oh man, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen when the Beast comes out? What's going to happen if Patricia learns about Kevin or all their different names? With this, there's just none of that. And I kept on coming back to, this is so, and my next point is maybe I already said it. But, why are we supposed to have any tension in a battle between two gods who are immortal? Like, again, there's nothing that gives you any fucking tension.
And it was just glazed over in a way. Like, it's in the background. It's not like Stay Puft Marshmallow in Ghostbusters where the giant comes out and everyone's like, oh my God, run. La, la, la. No one seems to care.
That's what I mean. It's all like, if none of these people care, why the fuck should I care?
Yep.
So now everyone in Cairo is being judged by people who have done terrible things in their past and should not be forgiven. What is this? The U.S. Supreme Court Justice? Huh? Get it? I made a joke. Did the prop department not realize that they're dressing Layla as She-Ra?
Go abortion.
Go abortion? That's so... Drop that in the middle of a Moon Knight. This show's an abortion.
Oh.
But did the prop department not realize that Layla is dressed like She-Ra? She's a cross between She-Ra, and then she brings out the what's the word for? Wrist necklaces. What are they called? Bracelets. She brings out the bracelets, and she looks like...
That was helpful.
She looks like Wonder Woman crossed with She-Ra.
Yeah, it was cool.
I was having mad She-Ra vibes. It reminded me of how much pleasuring I partook in because of She-Ra.
Yeah, back in the day. Now,
when I was
like
super young, like I can't do it now.
Nah.
But,
you can pretend.
Yeah, that's right. I don't have any She-Ra TV shows in my Plex library. This
TV
bad
shows.
comedy of two people with the same body having a conversation is so fucking hackneyed. It wasn't funny when Oscar Isaac was doing it. It's not funny when Layla's doing it. It is just not funny.
When they did the split, like when they're both on screen at the same time, I thought it was well done. Like I didn't.
Mark and Steven?
Yeah,
I'm talking about when Layla's talking to herself. When she like, oh, I'm contra now.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's not funny. There's a better way to have that conversation. It's just like when Mark would see Steven in the mirror and he talked to him. That's great.
I think the problem there was that it was audio dubbed.
Yeah. Oh,
for the god.
Yeah. Yep.
Like she should have played the god as her voice.
Remember, there's a great scene in Two Towers. Remember with Gollum when it was apparently Fran Walsh that set the shot up, and it's a fucking genius way to do it, where they show Gollum on one side, and then the camera comes over to this side, and he turns his head, and he's Smeagol, and then the camera goes back, and then they're like, got it? Then they start just cutting the camera. Yeah. They could have done that, and that is a smart way to do this, but this, oh my goodness, like, it's so, the fact that Oscar Isaac was doing the same fucking thing before, it's not funny, and it's not interesting, and it's dragging the show on. Mark and Steven are going to have to go through their boring, pointless coming-of-age story just to become Khonshu's avatar and defeat Amit. The fact that you can see the end of the show from 5 minutes into the last show is exactly what makes it dull as fuck. It's like Marvel learned nothing with the misstep of the Immortals. Watching undefeatable people fight is boring. There is nothing in it for your fucking audience. It's dull as hell. When you don't know how to get out of a situation, just do a crazy personality jump where Steven blocks out everything and now everything's perfect. So they're like, oh, you can imagine these writers. And I'm sure maybe this is there in the Moon Knight comic book. Maybe this third guy who's, I believe, Irish or Scottish. I can't remember. Who gives a fuck? The fact that this guy's there has been what Moon Knight fans have known all along, right? But I can imagine there's this writer. This show had a writer. It was called a computer. This writer was like, fuck, I'm at this point now. What do I do? Oh, I know. Everything's fine. And you're like, what? When that part happened, I was like,
which part exactly?
Remember when I think it's Mark's Steven whatever is being held down. Everything's about to come to an end. It's a
the blackout.
The blackout, and then he comes up. Everything's great.
That leads into the end credit scene.
But that reeks of when you don't know how to get out of a situation, just do a crazy personality jump where Steven blocks out everything and now it's perfect. I'm talking about when all the power is being sucked out of Mark/Steven/Moon Knight, and then he does a stupid time jump thing, and now he's got an axe on top of Harrow. How goddamn lazy can this show be to do that even in the finale? That is fucking lazy writing. They're like, oh my God, we're not going to win. We're not going to win. We won.
Yeah.
Like it's so lazy. And I can understand doing that like at the start when they did it to show that, okay, something's fucked up. You can't do it.
But they did it to go, oh, what was that? Like they didn't have
an ending.
But they did. It was after the credits.
It just sucks. But
it just makes you go, what was that? Where's that leading?
And also, think of how much... Now, again, I'm going to compare this to the far superior and the best part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which was Infinity War and Endgame. Now, imagine if in the end of Endgame, Thanos went, snap, oh, look, everybody disappeared again. Huh? You'd be like, what? I just watched this whole second movie and the same thing happened again.
Yeah, you want payoff.
And that's how you end your fucking movie?
And that's not payoff.
That's exactly what the show fucking did. It was just like, hey, remember that thing at the start? Did it again.
It's like going to WrestleMania for the big ending of The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then finding out at the end that they're just going to talk for 1 minute and then it's over.
Talk for 20 minutes and then wrestle for a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, because of all of our
it would work.
Audience that knows
wrestling. What? It's me.
How did Mark/Steven get back to his apartment in the UK?
He's magic.
Yep. So the silver guy that Mark talks to the entire time in the start means absolutely nothing.
I hate that so much. You know how much I hate that. That had no payoff at all.
I was watching that and I'm like, are they going to come back to this guy? I was like, oh, I was going to hate this.
I was hoping that was the end credit scene where they would pay off that the guy in silver was his
Khonshu or something.
Yeah.
Something.
Or something, yeah.
Or helping him through everything whenever he would time jump. Anything, dude.
I got half a smidgen of a payoff of the goldfish, and it was just like another goldfish. Great. You've accepted 2.
Wow, exciting. There's a third personality. Who possibly could care? Like, it's imagine like, oh my God, there's Thanos. You're like, wow, dude, Thanos is awesome. And he comes to the guy. And then remember the end of Eternals? Hey, I'm Thanos' half brother. You're like, okay, who fucking cares? I don't give a shit. You know, it was that feeling. You're like, oh, there's a third one.
Season 2
is
the 2 good guy Moon Knights versus the 1 bad guy Moon Knight.
Dude, how uninteresting will that be? Like, dude, Oscar Isaac is a fantastic actor. He's watched movies like Inside Llewyn Davis. Don't watch that shitty movie made with Paul Schrader, the Card Counter or something like that. Whatever. Watch Inside Llewyn Davis, where he's so good. Watch him in Annihilation. He's so fucking good. He's so much fun to watch. But I don't want to see him go, ladies gators, hey dude, my crike. And then he's over to Steven. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm Steven. And I'm scary. Then he's going, oi, mate, I'm the Scottish one. Moves to birdie. And I'm like,
Rob just hates British people.
But I really like Oscar
They're so
Isaac.
vanilla.
I do like parts of the Marvel Universe. And this is not the worst one. The worst one is still definitely Hawkeye. But this one is just dull. And I have something to mention, but I'll talk about it on the Everything Everywhere All at Once. There is a single 3-letter word that this show is missing that Everything Everywhere All at Once has in spades, and that's what makes it better. So, cliffhanger. No, that's not a cliffhanger. What do you call that?
We're going to talk about that in the podcast.
But what do you call that? It's not a cliffhanger. It's like a stay tuned.
It's cliffhanger. Yeah.
Fuck off. All right, it's a cliffhanger. So come watch our How Do We Get Sour with while complaining.
Hour of sour.
How do we get sour while complaining?
At watchingcomplain.com.
Can you taste this hour of sour?
No, that's not different. Anyway.
These Mountain Dew drinks are good, by the way. Pick up Mountain Dew Spark.
Moon Knight.
I'm glad it's fucking over.
How would you rate it out of 10?
The entire overall show, I give a failing grade. It gets a 4 out of 10 because it is fucking dull. And that's the one. It could have, if the show was at least exciting, like Loki. Loki was a shitty show, but at least it had exciting parts in it. This one was so fucking dull. I'd seen all of it already. We've all seen all of this type of CG already. The Egyptian shit we all saw with the Mummy. We've all seen with there's another Egyptian show I can't remember. That Scorpion King garbage. We've all seen this Egyptian shit.
It's also one of those things where it's like, okay, this show, how does it link in with the rest of the cinematic universe?
Who cares?
It doesn't.
No, who cares? I feel like Marvel right now is just like remember so South Park was getting tired. The two guys that made South Park, Trey Parker, Matt Stone, they were getting, this is the rumor that I've heard, who fucking knows if it's true. They were getting tired that you could throw South Park on anything and it would sell. So they're like, you know what? You know what the stupidest fucking thing we can do is? Let's make a character that's a fucking towel. And he's towely, right? Don't forget to bring a towel. That's all he ever fucking says.
Did they originally try to do that with Mr. Hanky?
No, Mr. Hanky I think was a thing because he was like right at the start. He was one of the first episodes. But I know with Towley, they were like, this is the stupidest fucking character ever. A fucking towel. I feel like right now, Marvel is like, you dumb fucking slobs. We'll put the Marvel name on anything, and we'll say it's part of this multiverse, and you dumb fucks will shill yourselves for it. It's like how people feel about Star Wars fans. You stick Star Wars on something, and these dumb pigs will go and fucking buy it. That's what this Marvel shit feels like to me. We don't care about keeping you interested. We don't care about telling a coherent story. Just shut up, watch, and consume the next product.
It's the Netflix of Disney Plus.
Yeah, look how well that's working out for fucking Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Don't greenlight everything.
Nope.
And make sure you have some really quality writers writing this stuff.
And make sure that, like, yes, absolutely
Slash
right
directors
on both those, but make sure that and it's so, I'm not saying it's an exact science, because some stuff that you would expect to be like, holy shit, this is going to be amazing to watch, falls flat. Like, think of the fucking Star Wars prequels. You think this huge Clone Wars battle is going to be fun in the majority. You think this huge fucking pod race is going to be fun. The majority of the time people were falling asleep watching the fucking pod race. It's amazing to watch, but to sit there going, yeah, they're still racing, you get bored.
It's like watching NASCAR.
And then you think of a movie Then you think of a movie like Cube. They're inside a fucking cube, and you're like, this is riveting, you know? Make more of that. Make more shit that is interesting to watch.
Like Loki. Right, Rob? Right? I'm telling you, if they mess up, what is it, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, whatever her name is? If they mess that up,
yeah, I don't know what to think
people are going to riot because that has such a cult following.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So far, I don't know what to think of that, because I can't tell if it's trying to be kind of funny, haha, or if it's trying to be kind of, and I know I use this term a lot, like woke culture-ish. Just from the trailer, I can't figure out what's trying to be. So I'm interested in it. I will definitely say that I am interested in Miss Marvel.
We review all the Marvel stuff.
I had,
so
as soon as that first Moon Knight trailer came out, zero interest, and it never picked up. I never had any interest in it.
And Miss Marvel, it has some interest, but we don't know anything about it. Like, well, we know
outside
very little of in the trailer.
I believe she's a Muslim character. It's a big deal that she's
something
Muslim,
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, or she's like not Christian, not white Anglo-Saxon, and not that that's a big deal, but I think it's great to have that sort of representation in the Marvel universe.
Well, we're doing it with everything because we have the Egyptian.
But I will say this:
LGBTQ.
They had poor Oscar Isaac having to try to shill that this stupid show is about, mental problems and people that are struggling with mental issues. I'm like, how fucking dare you take the seriousness of mental health issues and try to ascribe it to a shit show like fucking Moon Knight? That's insulting. I can see people taking like Split, because James McAvoy did a lot of work to make sure that he got that right. Look at Rain Man. Dustin Hoffman did a lot of work to make sure that he had they were called idiot savants. I know, I'm sorry, that's the non-technical term, but that's what they were referred to as, like low functioning autism, autistic people. Look at the work that he did to accurately represent that. And then you're going to turn around and tell me this garbage fire of fucking Moon Knight, it's about mental health issues. Like, fuck you and Oscar Isaac. You never should have taken that job to do that commercial. Do the show, fine. Everybody needs to get paid, but don't do that commercial. That's insulting.
Yeah, that's some grade A promotional garbage right there. Yeah, for sure. Watchingcomplain.com. Watch some more stuff coming your way on the YouTube channel. Go check it out right now, and go check out our TikTok because that's awesome.
I get naked on it.
I won't let him.
I wore my little pink sweater.
I did not.
I did look cute
the recording,
but then I pulled my shirt up, and that's what they cut. Hard cut.
As soon as we see nipples, we take the rules of Twitch
without pasties. Watchingcomplain.com. When do we get to end? Are we over? Yeah, we're done.